started February 19th, 1992. I was working at Providence Hospital in Cincinnati, and February 19th, I had a dream. I'm in heaven. No one had to tell me. And this tall angel walked up to me, and the only thing he said to me was, "It's not your time." And that was it. And I woke up immediately. Little did I know, 24 hours later, I'd be fighting for my life.
The next day, while Becky was working at the hospital, she reached to move a bed. The bed had a short, and electricity shot through her body.
And I still remember today that electricity going in through my right arm, going down, traveling down my right leg, coming back up, shooting through my heart, then it knocked the air out of me. Then it went down my left leg and back up, and it went to leave my left hand. But when it did, I thought for sure my fingertips were gonna blow off. It was so powerful. I remember it throwing me back, and when it did, the hospital lights, they shattered everywhere. Then the next thing I remember, I was in intensive care.
Her parents were the first to be notified.
Very devastating, the news that we received about her injury. That electrocution that took place began to really attack our thinking. She wouldn't survive or wouldn't make it through that.
I wake up in intensive care. I'm feeling things for the first time in my life that I've never felt before. I can't breathe. My heart's going so fast, and I'm scared. But the very first thing that the Lord spoke to me, He brought that right back to me. It's not your time.
Becky survived and was released from the hospital, but she suffered constantly.
Just trying to walk, my heart was feeling like it was just gonna explode in my chest. So things were so difficult for me.
They were trying all kinds of medication and all kinds of treatment to try to correct it, but there was no correction.
Her parents and children helped as much as they could.
You know, there'd be times where I'd pull up the steps because she couldn't walk up the steps. Like the doctors have told her, you can only crawl around, you can only, do this or that. Just basically don't do anything but sit on the couch unless you have to get something, then crawl to the kitchen or crawl to the bathroom. That's all you can do.
After working with 19 doctors over the course of 16 years, Becky still suffered daily from the debilitating effects of the electrocution. Dr. Blair Grubb is one of the top heart specialists in the nation.
She was on the more severe side compared to many of the people we see. Pretty much had very little of what we would call a normal life.
It caused me to have chest pain. It caused me, when I would stand up, I would start doing somersaults in my head. I would get so dizzy, and my heart would beat so hard and so fast. You would think I was running a marathon, and I had to go sit back down again.
She was very, very affected when we saw her, that when she would try to stand up, her blood pressure would drop dramatically. When she was at her worst, she was pretty much bedridden or wheelchair bound, unable to do any of the normal activities of daily living. I didn't have a lot of hope. I wasn't real encouraged by her progress.
Becky's heart was wearing out.
She was dying. I knew it. My sister knew it. It was probably the hardest night of my life, because I really believed that I was going to lose my mom that night. And I was scared.
That was my darkest hour. That was the blackest of the black of my life. And I remember October 27th, that though my faith was strong, though my mind was strong, my body had had enough. It'd been through enough testing, it'd been through enough medicines, it'd been through enough procedures, and finally my body couldn't take any more. And I knew I was dying. My heart hurt so bad. It was like somebody was squeezing it so hard. I couldn't breathe. I had such pain hit me in my head like I've never had before. And I'm not talking about a migraine. I'm talking about horrendous pain.
Even though they'd prayed many times before, her children asked God for a miracle.
We had to come together and form a bond that we're believing for Mom that she's gonna make it out of this, that she's gonna be better than ever, that she's not gonna die, that she's gonna live, that God has spoken to her, and that He is not a liar, and that what He says does come true. You cannot waver in faith. Disbelief will not get you anywhere. So that's what we had to focus on, is that Mom's gonna make it, that God is healing her.
Becky says that night a bright light filled her room and she saw Jesus Christ.
and he walked in my room. But this time, my Jesus wasn't walking in to bring me relief. This time he wasn't walking in just to take a little pressure off me. This time he was walking as my healer. His love consumed me. And the first thing that happened to me was I heard and I felt a pop in my head. And that pain was instantly gone. That pain on my chest was gone. A supernatural, all I can explain it was a strength, a power, a heat surged through my body.
After 16 years of waiting and believing, Becky was healed.
To see her go walking was an incredible experience. I was just like, oh, yeah, I was just thrilled. And to have her, I saw her, the first time I saw her run, which I've never seen her run before, like in my life. To see her run, I was just like, woohoo, yeah. I was so happy.
She truly experienced the miraculous recovery.
He can take what's absolutely devastated, broken, it's completely fragile, and restore it and make it beautiful again.
And I walk, I work out, and I love it. It's wonderful. God's awesome. He's allowed me to do the things that the doctor said I would never do. You'll never ride a horse, you won't ride a plane, you won't be able to walk, you won't be able to work out. And now I'm allowed to do these things. I fly, I walk, there's nothing I don't do. I run. So God's given everything back. And like in this word, he said, he'll restore the years. So he's given back to me those years. And I'm thankful for it.